Hi, I'm David Abrahams, the Digital Services Publisher here at Central Coast Newspapers and Coast Community News. Well, you no doubt all would have heard of what happened this morning. In the wee hours of this morning, Facebook has effectively blocked all legitimate news content around Australia. It's also more disturbingly blocked all of your conversations about validated, fact-checked news articles. This is the most disturbing thing about it, and something I think that all of us should lobby that organisation to release. Many other organisations around the country, including major charities like Coast Shelter here on the Central Coast, informative council reporters like Council Watch here on the coast, watching everything that's happening on council, and several government agencies have all been blocked by this broad sweeping and blunt instrument that Facebook Australia has decided to use. It doesn't concern us, it doesn't affect us, and we are committed to creating good local news. Central Coast Newspapers and Coast Community News publish over 100 articles a week, supplied through an editorial process with 8 journalists and freelancers, as well as a videographer. All facts are checked and opinions are checked on both sides. And these are the articles that start the best conversations. Our recent interview with the Administrator of Central Coast Council, Dick Person, is a point in case and had many thousands of Central Coastians informed about their council administrator and what he intends to do in the rates situation. Your conversations have now effectively been censored on the largest platform in the country and in the region for that area. I've spoken to colleagues in the ABC, at NBN Television and other news outlets. All of them likewise have now had all those conversations by you stopped. However, we're moving forward. There are other ways to do it, and we at Central Coast Newspapers, Coast Community News, have other ways of engage. We've started our daily Spotify news service, so look for us on Coast Community News online, on Spotify. On YouTube, of course, you can comment freely by going to our weekly news and spotlight stories during the week. These are journalistic research interview articles that you can comment on freely. You can always also brave yourself into the world of Twitter. We have many Twitter followers and many influential people that follow the news stories from there. Most importantly, you can go to our website, which has now over 200,000 monthly users, attracting over 500,000 reads every month. You can search on Google, because Google still indexes us, and we had almost 5 million Google searches on our articles in the last month. So the resource for free and open, honest news on the Central Coast is there. It's the conversations that matter. May I suggest some other alternative ideas by going to our website, that's coastcommunitynews.com.au, and following our hacks on how you can get around this audacious Facebook ban on real news supply. I look forward to engaging with you. Don't give up, keep your conversations going, and of course, pick up the local paper. We publish 2 weekly papers and 1 fortnightly paper across the region. If you want, take a photo of the paper or the article that's worrying you, post it on your own individual Facebook page and start a conversation that way with your friends and colleagues. These are ways of getting around this silly situation. All power to the Australian Parliament for challenging these digital giants and for being reasonably responsible in the news landscape. And I would personally like to see the parliamentary process continue so that we can get a good result. Regional publishers like Ross Barry, who we'll speak to, have a similar concern. We spoke to Ross earlier today. Previously, the posts on the Facebook page of Coast Community News and Central Coast Newspapers attracted a lot of commentary, particularly recently about COVID and the council situation. What's What's the result of those people not being able to debate these issues freely online?
Yeah, it's a really good question. People will recall back during COVID, you could find out what was happening at COVID at a global level and a national level. You could not find out what was happening on the ground at a local level. Our coverage, we reverted to providing daily video news coverage of developments with COVID, and that was the only source of information for people on the coast. So it became a very important thing. We've had the same thing again. We're fortunate we work with Maryland Vale on Council Watch, and Maryland's very close to all the developments that have been happening with Council this year, of which there have been many. And we've been able to bring that type of news right from the source to people, so that they not only aware of it, but they can then discuss it in other formats. Yeah, look, I think most regional publishers will tell you that they don't do it for the money. Most of them run it at a break-even level, and they're doing it really as an important community service. And so, pulling any potential source of funding out from underneath them, just puts regional journalism at risk. I think the big media companies are well placed to have those negotiations, but to a large extent, it's less important to their survival than it is to regional media. And as I say, if you're going to provide real news, you've got to employ real journalists, and you've got to employ real graphic designers, and it's an expensive thing to deliver. If you're going to deliver it consistently at a high quality, week in, week out, it's an expensive exercise. So it's a shame when you see them groups like Facebook pulling the pin. Look, naturally it'd be nice if they stayed. We obviously hope that Google stays. Google is an important partner for us in distributing news via the web, and to support people searching for local news. It'd be nice in the wash though if regional journalism isn't forgotten in a lot of the compensation deals. I can see that the big media companies have finished up doing okay out of this, so I just hope that regional publishers aren't left out of the discussion.
Thanks, Ross. That's important. There are many ways of engaging. Pick up your local newspaper. We do publish weekly newspapers and a fortnightly newspaper at available at 450 distribution spots around the country. Our website has over 200,000 users, so please use that website. It's paywall free and ready to go. Also, subscribe to our push notifications. The first time you come to the website, you'll be asked to accept weekly push notifications. To read our 5 at 5 weekly news report. You'll find it informative and in a compact audio video format. We also have, of course, Instagram, that has so far been unaffected, Twitter, Spotify and YouTube. All of those socials are still available to be used. And then we'd love you to think that you could follow the hashtag CCN for any discussions that you have, so that your personal discussions can be referenced to at least a verified news source. Good luck, and we'll see you out there in the digital and the real landscape. And thanks for taking your time out to listen to us.